And happy Wednesday morning. It is January 6th in the year 2021, 8:09 right now. And yes, you've got it tuned into the Morning Roundtable right here on AM 1320, FM 1013, WKAN. I am your host, the Morning Millennial, Josh Carmen. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I have a guest who will be joining me here briefly. First off, let's take a look at that forecast. And wow, it was nice to actually see the sunshine out there today. Could see it outside my windows here at the WKAN studios, though the clouds are starting to cover up that sun again. So briefly was able to see it. But today, it's going to remain cloudy out there. We'll have some patchy fog as well. And today's high right around 33. Tonight, again cloudy, low of 25. Another overcast day tomorrow with a high of 34. Friday should be mostly cloudy. We're going to have a high of 32. Then Saturday looks like we'll see the sun again, partly sunny skies with a high of 32. And then Sunday, more clouds move in, mostly cloudy with a high of 30. It is 28 degrees right now at the Greater Kankakee Airport, and you're up to date with the weather here on the Morning Roundtable. So you may have heard their commercials running here on WKAN and also during the Morning Roundtable for Iroquois Mental Health Center. And joining me on the phone right now, I have Dr. Dennis Hopkins. He's the executive director of the Iroquois Mental Health Center. He has a doctorate in clinical psychology and also holds an executive master's degree in business administration. Good morning, Dr. Hopkins. How are you?
Good morning, Josh. Fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It was good to see the sunshine today. So.
Few and far between.
Right. Yeah, we usually don't see the sun a lot during the winter months. But yeah, good to speak with you this morning and talk about mental health. And you know, there was a lot of reports on it, and I know our news guys did some reports on it as well. Studies were finding out that all the lockdowns and the pandemic really didn't help people when it came to mental health. So I got to ask you, why is mental health very important during the pandemic?
Iroquois Mental Health Center, of all things, that we're probably as busy, if not busier, than we've ever been. And with the pandemic, some of the issues are things like anxiety and depression are overlooked in our daily life by doing busy work. The busier we become, the more we avoid looking at what's feeling inside of us. And because of the pandemic, everything has slowed down for people. And as a result, people are almost forced to look internally, which they might have avoided previously by working and keeping busy.
Okay.
Another issue are the relationship issues or other problems at home. Now, those issues are front and center because you're spending all the time in that environment. So you're facing those issues all the time. Thirdly, your self-worth is often defined by your work life. My work defines who I am. Working from home changes all that. How am I handling my feelings, and what am I needing in my life? So with this, the pandemic it forces you to take a hard look at what's really going on inside of you. Sure.
And, I guess, on the surface level, some people might hear that. They say, oh, that's a good thing. You're able to look inside, and see, and look at yourself more internally. But you're saying that that may be positive, but there also could be a negative side to that as well.
Absolutely. Somehow you have to be able to deal with what's going on. I mean, you could be one of the most successful people, but if there's something inside of you that's really troubling, and you keep pushing it down, eventually it's going to be like a pot that's going to boil over.
Sure. So this, as you explained just a little bit ago, this pandemic has forced or has really increased the number of calls that you're seeing at the health center.
Right, and we're doing it all by telehealth. So phone calls and Zoom appointments are working well.
Okay, so there's no in-person appointments at this time. Has that been going on since the everything sort of like shut down in March? Has that been like that since March?
Well, we opened up for a while. And then as the numbers started increasing of the COVID positive people, we felt again we just have to stop and do it by phone.
Sure. Now, do you you're not able to meet in person? Do clients still get sort of the same experience?
I was really surprised because initially I thought this is never going to work, and it's been just the opposite. It's increased. People feel very comfortable talking by phone or by a Zoom appointment. And if there's transportation issues or other things in your life where, I have to, pick up my daughter at 4 o'clock or something, you can have an appointment.
Sure.
And you can balance your time a lot easier. So we haven't really skipped a beat at all.
Sure. Right. Has the pandemic also maybe accelerated some people who maybe already had mental health problems and they were aware of it, but accelerated, I don't know what you want to say, but I guess caused some of those problems to persist and maybe get even more problematic for them?
Extremely. It's such an unnatural environment that we're living in. Everything is affected. And where do you go? I mean, okay, let's go to another country. It's everywhere. So your life is really put in a position where you are really facing these issues. And if you're a little bit claustrophobic or, if you really need to get out and do something, the choices are really limited as to what you can do.
Sure. We're speaking with Dr. Dennis Hopkins this morning, Executive Director at the Iroquois Mental Health Center. For those who are interested in your services, like the telehealth that you're currently offering, what do they need to know? Do they need a certain technology to be able to do this, or can they just call up the office and schedule something?
Yeah, that's all you would need to do is call the office. The other thing is that we are offering employee assistance programs for businesses. And this is really helpful because oftentimes when you have health insurance, you look and you think, okay, but mental health issues, is that in there somewhere? And because of all of the changes in the laws, insurance companies are forced to have some mental health services covered.
Okay.
So the more we encourage people to either come in on their own, and a lot of people are covered by insurance or other kinds of means, so it's really not a problem like it once was. You can call in, talk with our people, get an appointment, and then meet with your therapist by phone. If you're looking for the employee assistance program, a corporation could actually call us, and that would be Erin Gallagher at 815-641-7760. That's her cell phone. And she is the person who's coordinating the AAP programs. Now, the employee assistance program, the beauty of it is that if you are an employer, either big or small, that offers health insurance, you can sign up for free. Once upon a time, we would charge companies so much per employee per month. That fee is now waived because of the conditions of what's going on with the pandemic. And employees and their families get 2 sessions for free. After that, the standard insurance kicks in, and we confirm all the insurance details in advance, so it's not a problem. The other beauty of it is your employer really does not have to know that you are seeking these services. Because what happens is the only thing we're obligated to do with the employer is to say how many people from their company came to us during a month.
Okay.
There's absolutely no other information that's ever convenient. You could call us, if your company is linked up with it, or you could just call us if it's not, and we'll work something out with you. We just are encouraging companies to take advantage of this service.
Sure. And you call Erin, and what was her number again?
815-641-7760.
Okay. We're speaking with Dr. Dennis Hopkins this morning, Executive Director of the Iroquois Mental Health Center. For people who may be listening, right now, and they're on for sure whether or not their mental health is good or not. What are some telltale signs that show that maybe you need some help?
There's some of the keys are you're either sleeping all the time or you're not sleeping at all. You're eating all the time or you're not eating at all. Your change in life has come to the point where maybe you're more irritable than you've been previously. The interesting thing is, like, we're getting calls with people that probably would have never gone this route previously.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gotten to the point where, people say, I can't take this any longer. When is this pandemic going to end?
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, we're probably only halfway through it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got quite a ways to go, and trying to get even the injections out to people, that's running into all kind of difficulties with people that are not interested in receiving something that could provide them the health and protection. So what's going to happen is, this may take another year or another year and a half to get to the point where we resume some form of normalcy.
Okay. So again, what is the phone number that people can call to learn more about Iroquois Mental Health Center? 815-432-5241, extension 226, or just talk to the operator. Okay.
And that'll get you an appointment.
All right. Now, once you're able to open back up, how many locations does Iroquois Mental Health Center have?
Well, interestingly, we started off in a little place about 15 years ago, and now we have some really nice centers, and we actually cover 4 counties.
Okay.
We as far as south as Vermilion and Iroquois, Kankakee, and Will.
Okay.
And the places are in Watseka is a main campus. In Meadowview Shopping Center in Kankakee is the main campus. 70 Meadowview, they're on the first floor.
Sure.
In Manteno at the old Resolve Center is now our unit, and also in Moni. And there's other places too that we have relationships with that we've used previously as satellites. I think we've got about 11 of those. But you call us and we will get you in. The other thing is that our system is set up so you will get in immediately. There's no waiting list, which is like unheard of for mental health services. But that's kind of been our mantra from day one, is that you call us and we'll get you in.
Dr. Dennis Hopkins, Executive Director of the Iroquois Mental Health Center, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. Is there anything else you'd like to add or mention?
I just really appreciate you doing this. It's such a need at this stage of the game, and anybody that's just sitting there and they're really worried about, should I do this and should I not? That's the scariest thing is, what's going to happen? What's it like to go into therapy and all that? And once they make that call, we'll take it from there, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
And again, that phone number, 815-432-5241.
Right.
Dr. Dennis Hopkins, thanks again for joining me this morning. You have a wonderful Wednesday, sir.
Thank you, Jess. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.